Good morning and welcome to week 1 of our Cricut projects. I am using a basic account for Cricut so that we can start fresh for each project and that you don't have to worry about if anything costs money. This is all free for anybody who uses it. So today we're going to create a bookmark and we're going to talk about welding letters in Cricut. So we're starting off pretty basic, but I wanted to make sure we start off on a common ground for everybody to get used to it. So click on new project. Now, honestly, when I start a new project, this bothers me, the grid in the background. If you go up here in this corner and click it once, it'll turn it white. If you click it again, it gives you the inch marks, which I prefer much better than the little tiny marks. This hits my OCD pretty bad. So I'm going to make it a blank space. So the first thing we're going to do is insert a shape. So you go over to the left side of your screen and you'll see shapes. Now there's all kinds of different shapes. We'll talk about the different ones and what a score line is at later classes. Today we're just going to insert a square. Okay, now that we've inserted a square, we want to change the size of it. Currently, you can move this to change the size of it, but it's proportional, and that means that no matter what size you change it, both the length and the width will stay the same. I want to change the length and the width to be something different. So I'm going to click here, and this is currently locked. If you click here, it unlocks it so you can move it different shapes to whatever you want. Now, there's also a toolbar at the top. This will also unlock it. So I want my width to be 1.5, and I just typed it in, and I want my height to be 5. And that's a good size for an average size bookmark. If you want to make it a little bit larger, you're more than welcome to. And all shapes that come in are always this gray, dark gray, and I like to have colors, so I am going to make it blue. So now I am going to click that locked again so that I have it locked. So now we want to create a second rectangle. Instead of doing all of the other stuff again, you can actually just duplicate this one. And if you go up here into the upper right, it says duplicate. Now I don't want this to be the same color, so I'm going to change it to a different color. And I want to resize it. So I am going to click the lock proportions up here and unlock it. I want it to be 1 and 4.5 so that it's going to actually fit in the middle. Now, I can't ever line things up very well. I don't know about you. So there's an easy way to arrange things with Cricut. So I am going to select all. You can click select all here, or you can click and hold your mouse and select all there. And if you go up here to align, you can align center and align center. And that way it puts the rectangle directly in the middle. I am now going to lock this again. And now I'm going to group these together because I don't want them to change size in any way, shape, or form by accidentally pushing this, which is what I just did, but I can click the undo button, but sometimes you can click on something and it changes, and I don't want that to happen. Okay, so now let's talk about the whole weld part. I'm going to put my name on my bookmark, so I'm going to go over here under text, and I am going to type my name. Now, if you were to cut this out like this, each letter would be separate, and I want all the letters to be together. A font that is a writing font works best in that situation. I'm going to move this over here so I can just concentrate on my name. I'm not going to worry about the size. Actually, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger just so I can see things better. So there are some fonts that are free, and we'll talk about inserting our own fonts at a later class. But every one of these fonts that look good, I'll say $4.99. I don't want to see those. I only want to see the free Cricut fonts. So I'm going to go over and filter and click on my font, and it will now show only the free fonts. And you see there's over 100 of them here that are all free. Now I also want to go back to filter and click on writing, because I want my letters to be able to join together to look nice. For example, I used a Babette earlier, and when you see these little tails, that means that the letters are made to join together. Let's try a couple of more. There's not a whole lot writing fonts, and if we click on this one, you see they have the tails. You want everything to be joined together. Now, a lot of people will weld it right now and think that that's all they have to do to get the letters to join together, and that's not true. The letters have to actually be touching in order for it to be welded. So I'm going to undo what I just did. If you ever do something you don't want, this is the back button. It's amazing. And I need to do, I want to change the size, the spaces, so that the letters all touch. Because in order for this to cut right, they all have to touch. So, there's a couple ways you can do this. You can ungroup each letter. I'm going to make a duplicate of this so I can show you two different ways. So you can advanced ungroup to letters and then move each letter over. Now, you can try moving it with your mouse, but a lot of times it'll get, if you try and move it, the height kind of messes up. So what you want to do is go up here to position. Now, if you are a math person, which I am, this takes place with the x-axis and the y-axis. If you think about a grid, an x-axis goes horizontally and the y-axis goes vertically. So if I want to move this one, I use my position for the x because I want to move it horizontally. Now, I always get confused on which goes where, so you can use this button to click it down, or you can click here and then use your arrow buttons. So you'll see now that that is really close to touching, and then you want to do the same thing with each letter. Now you'll see there's a little tail there. I'm going to move it back over a little bit more so there's no tail. Let's do the E. Now, not all fonts you can change the size of the letters. So this is another way. So now I have these all connected. They have to be connected to be able to be welded. So then you can't click select all because it would select everything in the project. So I'm going to use my mouse and just select all of these. And then I'm going to go to the weld button down here. And now they're welded together. And what that means is this will cut not each letter separately, but one continuous letter. And if you go look at the menu side over here, you'll see that the Chanel is now separate. Before it was welded, it's all together. Before it was welded, each letter was separate. But when we weld it, it's just one continuous unit. And that's what you want. Otherwise, you'll have cut marks in between your letters where they touch. Now, the second way to do this is to do letter spacing. And if you do letter spacing, you can just click your mouse until they're all touching. Now, sometimes you'll see these tails, and that's why I always like to do the advanced letter one. because I don't want these little tails there. And not every letter is nice and smooth, because if I move it just a little bit, well, that works pretty good right there. Okay, so then that is also, once you have, it's still one piece, but it will still cut each letter separately, so you still have to weld. Okay, so I'm going to delete this one because I don't want to use that one yet. I want to use this one. So I'm going to go back up here to my project. This is my bookmark, and I want to rotate this 90 degrees so that it looks nice when I put this on there. It doesn't matter. When you cut it, it will be just fine. So I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees. And then I want to resize this. Now it's all welded. It's one piece. Once you weld something, you cannot unweld it. Like detach and attach, you can. You cannot unweld something. So now you'll notice it's a lot bigger. I want to keep it locked because I want my proportions to be the same. So I'm going to now make it smaller till it fits in my green one. Not quite. That works pretty good. Now remember, if you want to center it, you go up here to align, center horizontally, and you're all set. Now, this is going to be in cardstock. So when you cut this, you're going to want 3 colors of cardstock. When we go to make it, we have our black color. Whatever color you have picked for your name will be your background here. So it's really hard to see a black one. Here's a green one. You can see the shape much better. And here's the blue one. So I'm going to go back and cancel and change this to a lighter color. Now, whatever color you choose for your images, it doesn't matter. It helps if those are the colors that you're going to use, but it doesn't matter because you can always just click make it, and you can put in any color you want for this. Now, we're going to use 3 colors of cardstock. When I go to print or cut, I look at what size this is, and I cut an image to that size. I can move this around to anywhere I want to go. Now, if you wanted to cut everything on one sheet, this is what's really cool. Go to your second color and click these 3 dots. I'm going to move object here. And I'm going to put it over in the corner here. So what happens is I can put a yellow piece and cut it to 2 by 4 and put it here. And then I can cut a 10 by 5 sheet, no, a 2 by 5 of my green and put it in this corner of the mat. And then if I wanted to do the blue one on the same mat, I could do a 2 by 6 and then put it in this side of the mat so I can cut all 3 colors on one mat. Doesn't matter. All of them will work. So I'm going to cancel this because I want to show you a couple of more things. Okay, so if you are doing iron-on, this is when you will hit mirror. We'll talk about what I do differently later on, so I can, if I ever forget to mirror, I know what I'm doing. If you don't want to print something, you can click hide selected, and then that won't cut. And then when you hit continue, and I have all 3 machines. I have the Joy, the Air, and the Maker. But I'm going to try and custom everything to be for the Air. We won't be doing wood and stuff like that. So here we go with our setting our base material. I set my dial always at the choose your own material because you can make it lighter or thicker or thin, and you can do different things with it. So I'm going to browse all materials, and the first thing you'll see is cardstock. So I'm going to click cardstock for intricate cuts because of the name. I want that to cut smooth. Now, when you are going to cut, make sure that your paper is, you want to use a mat that's a lighter color, like the light blue mat, or if you have a dirty green mat, that will also work, because you don't want your cardstock to stick to your mat. And since the mats are sticky, do not use purple. Purple is the heavy adhesive. Green is the normal regular adhesive, and blue and pink are I think it's blue and pink are the light adhesives. So just make sure. You can also take your blade out and hit it with some aluminum foil if it's been used before, because it can get dirty. Aluminum foil doesn't sharpen your blade, but it does get rid of all of the gunk that could be on the blade from if you were doing heat transfer vinyl, or if you were doing regular vinyl. So you're going to click done, and then the pressure, you can set it at more or less, or the regular default. Now, a lot of times you'll cut something and it won't cut all the way through. That's okay. If that happens, go back to where you're here and click the same material and then click more. And then you will hit continue down at the bottom. I don't know why mine's not showing up. And then it'll send it to the machine. I will get a picture of the final project finished, and you'll be able to see everything. I hope this was helpful for you, and I enjoy seeing everybody's projects. Have a great day.